Imagine sitting with a group of friends, family, or colleagues, and the conversation turns personal. Someone starts sharing intimate details about their life, struggles, challenges, fears, misfortunes, and injustices. Before you know it, everyone is airing their grievances and complaints. Does this sound familiar? This scenario often repeats itself in social gatherings, at work, on the beach, and even in online forums. There is value in sharing our experiences and seeking support from others, but there is also a danger of getting caught up in our dramas and those of others. When we talk about what's happening in our lives or listen to others' complaints, we give power to those experiences. Without realizing it, we are cursing our lives or allowing others to do so. We are telling negative stories about ourselves. We allow negativity to define us, shape our thoughts and emotions, and dictate the course of our lives. Numerous scientific studies show that the thoughts we dwell on have a direct impact on our physical and mental health. Interestingly, the average human generates between 60,000 and 70,000 thoughts per day, 70% of which are negative. This often leads to living a life far below our true potential, or even one filled with misery and suffering. Buddha said, "What we are is the result of what we have thought." But what if I told you there is another way to behave that leads to joy, well-being, health, and longevity? What if I told you that by simply shifting your focus from your problems and complaints to something greater, you could transform your life in ways you never thought possible? It may seem too good to be true, but hear me out. It's simpler than you might imagine. When we stop telling ourselves and others what's going wrong in our lives, we open ourselves to a whole new world of possibilities. We free ourselves from the limitations of our stories and begin to see the world through a different lens. Think about it. When you continuously talk about your problems, your challenges, your struggles, what are you really focusing on? You focus on difficulties, limitations, and what's lacking in your life. But when you stop telling those stories and shift your attention to something bigger than yourself, you start to see the abundance around you. You begin to notice opportunities, blessings, and miracles hidden in plain sight. That's where the magic happens. That's where you tap into a source of power most people don't even know exists. That's where you start creating a life filled with joy, beauty, purpose, and meaning. But I know what you might be thinking. What about the real problems in my life? What about the challenges I'm facing, the obstacles I need to overcome? How can I just ignore those things and focus on something else? I understand. We all have real problems, real challenges, real issues we have to deal with daily. I'm not suggesting you ignore those things or pretend they don't exist. What I'm suggesting is to stop giving them power over your life. What I'm suggesting is to start seeing those challenges as opportunities for growth, learning, and transformation. When we focus all our energy and attention on our problems, we give them the power to control us. We allow them to dictate our thoughts, emotions, and actions. And before we know it, we're trapped in a cycle of negativity and self-doubt that's hard to break free from. But when we shift our focus to something else, something that inspires us, something that fills us with a sense of purpose and meaning, we start to see those problems in a different light. We start to approach them with curiosity, with a willingness to learn from them and grow. That's when true transformation happens. That's when we start to see our challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities. That's when we tap into our inner strength and start creating a life full of possibilities. So how do you do it? Where do you start? How do you stop complaining and telling the negative aspects of what's happening in your life and start focusing on something bigger? It's simple. It all starts with a simple shift in mindset. Instead of dwelling on your problems, start focusing on opportunities and your dreams. Instead of complaining about what's wrong in your life, start expressing gratitude for what's right. Instead of seeking validation and support from others, start cultivating a deep sense of love and acceptance for yourself. And most importantly, start taking action. Do something every day that brings you closer to your goals, your dreams, your highest aspirations. Whether it's writing a book, meditating, exercising, or simply taking a few moments to breathe deeply and center yourself, make it a priority to invest in your personal growth and development. Do you want a healthy, happy, and long life? Start by reading books or attending courses on this topic. Start by visualizing yourself healthy, happy, and fulfilled at 100 years old. Start by sharing with friends, acquaintances, and relatives the possibilities you see for your future to improve your life and theirs. Wouldn't it be interesting to evolve, expand your consciousness, and contribute to the evolution of the whole? Does all this seem too much? Do you think you're not up to it? That you don't deserve it? In reality, when you focus on something bigger than yourself, when you tap into a sense of purpose and meaning, you start attracting incredible things into your life. You begin to notice synchronicities and opportunities you never knew existed. You start feeling a sense of excitement and enthusiasm for the journey ahead. And before you know it, those problems that once seemed so overwhelming start to fade into the background. They don't disappear entirely, but they lose their power over you. They become just another part of the rich and beautiful tapestry of your life, another thread in the story you are weaving. So ask yourself, what would it be like to stop cursing your life and start blessing it by focusing on something bigger? What kind of person would you become? What kind of impact would you have on the world? Take a moment now to close your eyes and visualize that future. See yourself as the confident, determined, and joyful person you've always wanted to be. Feel the energy and excitement that come from living a life fully aligned with your values and passions. See yourself healthy, wise, fulfilled, and long-lived. See around you the respect, friendship, and love of those who have accompanied you in this life. Breathe deeply into these new emotions, and now make an irrevocable commitment to yourself. Commit from now on to stop telling what's happening in your life and start focusing on something bigger. A commitment to take one small step every day toward that future self, no matter how difficult or uncomfortable it may seem. It might be something as simple as starting your day with a few minutes of quiet reflection or dedicating time each week to cultivate a hobby or passion. It might be reaching out to someone you admire and asking for their advice on improving an area of your life. It might be offering your time and energy to a cause you care about. It might be deciding to understand who you are, where you come from, why you are here, and where you are headed. Whatever it is, make it a non-negotiable part of your daily routine. Make it as important as breathing, eating, or sleeping. Because when you stop telling what's happening in your life and start focusing on something bigger, everything else starts to fall into place. When you look back on your life in a few years, you won't even remember the problems that once seemed so overwhelming. You won't remember the challenges, the obstacles, or the moments of self-doubt. What you will remember is the person you became, the life you created, the impact you had on the world. And you will be grateful that you had the courage to stop telling what's happening in your life and start focusing on something bigger, even when it was hard, even when it was uncomfortable. Never forget that within you lies the ability to create the life you want, to be the person you've always dreamed of being. All of this can start with one decision. The decision to stop telling what's happening in your life and start focusing on everything that can make you the best possible version of yourself. The most important decision is to trust your strength, your wisdom, and your resilience. So make that decision today. Take that first step and watch your life start to transform in ways you never thought possible. Believe in yourself. Believe in your abilities. Believe in what you can be and do. Thank you for watching the video to the end. I hope the reflections and teachings shared have sparked a new light on your search for a deeper meaning in life. If you found value in what you saw and heard today, please give this video a like. It's a small gesture for you, but it means a lot to us. Share it with the people you love and those you think could benefit from this knowledge. Finally, if you haven't already, subscribe to the Longevity Mastery channel. Here, we continue to explore themes that touch on health, well-being, and the search for a more meaningful existence. Thank you again for your time, and remember, the search for a meaningful life is a journey we undertake together.